I'm Molly from selfservetoys.com, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what is transgender. It's a word some people might have heard, but you're not quite sure what it means. And transgender is an umbrella term for any person whose gender identity, expression, or behavior doesn't match the assigned sex at their birth. And it's basically an umbrella term, so it applies to all different kinds of people. Some people might identify as transgender, transsexual, cross-dresser, two-spirit, androgynous, genderqueer, and a whole host of other different terms. The word cisgender is basically the other side of that. Someone who is assigned one sex at birth and still identifies with the same gender that quote matches. And so if someone was born and assigned female at birth, and then they are a woman in adulthood. So that's cisgender. And there's a lot of different terms, and it can sometimes be confusing. And it's good to remember that there's actually a whole host of identities that we all experience, but we just might not think about them. One good explanation comes from, it's called metrosexual. It's actually the genderbread person, and we'll show you a picture of that. The genderbread person separates out all the different aspects of our identity: our gender, our biological sex, our sexual orientation, our expression, and these are just some of the ways that we express ourselves or find ourselves relating to gender in our lives. How to be a good ally to a transgender person? Well, it's simple. You could just basically respect what they say their gender identity is. It's not really right to question anyone's identity. It's something that someone feels internally. So when someone tells you what their gender identity is, just go with the flow and validate that gender identity for them. If you're not sure of someone's gender identity or their preferred gender pronouns, it's best to ask. If they are wearing feminine clothing, it is safer to assume that perhaps they would use she or her. And when you are talking to someone and you're trying to respect a transgender person, never ask them about any genital surgery or medical procedures. It's not something you would do normally with someone else on the street, so it wouldn't be appropriate with a trans person either. Keep in mind that when many people transition their gender or change their expression or medical situation, there are many people who never get any surgery or medical procedures, or what some people might call gender confirmation surgeries. Certainly they're a very important part of the process to some people, but it's not necessary for someone to transition in their gender. It's also best never to share someone else's gender identity with other folks that you know. It's always best to leave that up to the individual. If you want to be a good ally, get yourself educated. Inform yourself and feel free to check out the links at the end of this video.